Sahih al-Bukhari 136 narrated new single Qutaym al-Mujmir, once I went up the roof of the mosque, along with Abu Hurairah. He performed ablution and said, I heard the Prophet saying, on the day of resurrection, my followers will be called al-Ghurul Muhajjalin from the trace of ablution, and whoever can increase the area of his radiance should do so, that is by performing ablution regularly. Sahih al-Bukhari 137 narrated Abad bin Tamim, my uncle asked Allah's Messenger about a person who imagined to have passed wind during the prayer. Allah's Apostle replied, he should not leave his prayers unless he hears sound or smells something. Sahih al-Bukhari 138 narrated Qurayb ibn Abbas said, the Prophet slept till he snored and then prayed, or probably lay till his breath sounds were heard and then got up and prayed. Ibn Abbas added, I stayed overnight in the house of my aunt, Maymuna. The Prophet slept for a part of the night. See Fath al-Bari page 249, volume 1, and late in the night, he got up and performed ablution from a hanging water skin, a light, perfect ablution, and stood up for the prayer. I, too, performed a similar ablution, then I went and stood on his left. He drew me to his right and prayed as much as Allah wished, and again lay and slept till his breath sounds were heard. Later on the mueddin, call maker for the prayer, came to him and informed him that it was time for prayer. The Prophet went with him for the prayer without performing a new ablution. Sufyan said to Amr that some people said, the eyes of Allah's Messenger sleep but his heart does not sleep. Amr replied, I heard Ubayd bin Umar saying that the dreams of prophets were divine inspiration, and then he recited the verse, I, Abraham, see in a dream, O my son, that I offer you in sacrifice to Allah. 37.102, see Hadith No. 183. Sahih al-Bukhari 139 narrated Usama bin Zayd, Allah's Messenger, proceeded from Arafat till when he reached the mountain pass. He dismounted, urinated and then performed ablution but not a perfect one. I said to him, is it the time for the prayer, O Allah's Messenger? He said, the place of prayer is ahead of you. He rode till when he reached Al-Muzdalifah, he dismounted and performed ablution in a perfect one. The call for Iqamah was pronounced and he led the Maghrib prayer. Then everybody made his camel kneel down at its place. Then the Iqamah was pronounced for the Isha prayer which the Prophet led, and no prayer was offered in between the two prayers, Isha and Maghrib. Sahih al-Bukhari 140 narrated Ata bin Yazar, Ibn Abbas performed ablution and washed his face in the following way. He ladled out a handful of water, rinsed his mouth and washed his nose with it by putting in water and then blowing it out. He then took another handful of water and did like this, gesturing, joining both hands, and washed his face, took another handful of water and washed his right forearm. He again took another handful of water and washed his left forearm, and passed wet hands over his head, and took another handful of water and poured it over his right foot, up to his ankles, and washed it thoroughly, and similarly took another handful of water, and washed thoroughly his left foot, up to the ankles, and said, I saw Allah's Messenger performing ablution in this way.